What's up? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, Wednesdays is kind of a quiet day for me. Uh Try not to overtrade on days like this. It's really a time to get the popcorn. I think popcorn's where it's at on days like this. No position is still a position. Trying to really just trying to protect risk, right? I think like you're overexposed on a day like this where
Hello, hello, hello. Is it just me or is Alex frozen for everybody else? Frozen. Alex frozen. Yeah, I don't know if he might be able to reboot
whatever they
because
want to
he
do with
has
the
no
price
arms.
action. So, well,
What?
I'm
Are you
back.
back? Yeah, you're back. Look at that. We were just saying that you're so planning not to trade today that you left your arms at home. Hello, hello. Frozen again. Oh man, seems like that Mexican internet it's being exported in large quantities. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we got it back. We got him back. Yeah, it frozen. So let's get started, guys. I want to start sharing my screen at this point. I want to see what else you want me to take a look at. I'm looking at CAS. This might be counterintuitive. Let me just share my screen really quick. Come on. There we go. For some reason, it doesn't share my screen. There it is. All right. Just looking at this, I'm not sure if I'm going to be taking this trade. It's already been moving downwards enough that maybe start thinking once again if I should or I shouldn't. CAS, all right, CASPA. Basically, is it a good coin? Well, for sure, it's not a shit coin. But we do have a rounded topping here, which is a little bit dangerous. We also have a technical, not a technical low. I mean, look at that, almost exactly pinpoint, right? What I'm kind of interested on it is this base correction size, right? So basically, almost every single one, very close one to each other, right? So far we already are at the bottom of that correction, and for that start kind of making me think. Well, we should have soon a pump back up, right, or at least a bounce up. So all right, Alex has left. I think he needs to reboot his Discord or something. So basically, looking at this possibility, then what is up next, right? At this point, I'm gonna be throwing on my indicators in here to start seeing what do I have on my screen right now. And the first thing that I see it is, well, I'm not gonna be moving this because I already have did or made the analysis. But we have the POC, right? The money flow POC. Here it is. The money flow POC. The next one is previous week low. Those are resistances at this point. But other than resistances, they're only going to be good if we can bounce out of a support, right? So what do we have at support? Support in resistances. Here we go. Here's when the interesting things happens, right? We have
they
one line
tried
of
to kill
support.
me.
Who did, my friend?
My God, I don't know. My whole computer just is my audio messed up now?
No, you sound good, but you seem chopped out.
I can hear myself again.
Can you hear
Two
yourself?
for one.
Is it for me on my side?
I'll retry.
All right, perfect. All right. So it seems like, I mean, although on my side seems to
Check.
be okay, but I don't know.
Okay.
Back testing,
No,
testing,
I'm getting.
testing.
Uh,
Can you talk for me?
check, check, check.
Yeah, should not be
No, I can
transmitting
hear
live.
myself twice.
Can you try that again one more time?
Check, check.
Did that fix it?
Maybe it's my side.
All right. Seems like I got
Check.
everything muted up. Oh, maybe. Can you mute my stream on your side? Maybe that's it.
Let me try now. No, I can hear myself. Weird.
All right. Aaron says no echo here. Still echoing.
I'll try rejoining again.
All right. I'm also gonna be shutting down my stream. Yeah, dial-up process. Yes. Sorry, guys. Sometimes you know that this happens, and we need to figure things out
Okay.
at live. Can you hear
There
yourself
we
at this
go,
point?
baby. Let's go.
Can you hear
But now
me?
I can't hear Rusty. Wait, I muted him. There we go.
All
We're
right.
good.
Are we good? All right.
We're
Perfect.
good.
Nice. Let me see.
What are you doing now? Tell me the alpha, OC.
Oh, Casper,
Sorry about
man.
that, everyone.
To the moon. Nah, just kidding. Just wanting to
Aspa,
see.
come on.
Yeah, just seeing to see if it's gonna be stopping
FTT,
falling.
ADA, XRP, Caspa. You, what? Do you trade anything
Yeah.
that's decent?
I don't know. Does Bitcoin counts? Oh
Oh,
man, I trade
I'm
anything
just
that gives
teasing
me
you.
money, my friend.
Money. Yes, I know.
Oh man. Yeah, by the way, I'm not holding Caspa. I'm holding a little bit of Caspa, nothing too much, just as much as XRP, right? Just for the possibility of that scratch ticket, right? Is it a shitcoin? I think it's not a shitcoin. That I need to put that out there. Is it up there with the high names? Nope, not at all. But still, I think it brings good stuff to the table. So basically, looking at the support zone here, what I'm looking at, it is this resistance and also this resistance in here. Something interesting, it is that I'm gonna be looking for a possible entry here if and only if I see flip of the ribbon, right? So this is what I started telling you guys at the beginning of this class, that I'm still thinking on if I should or should not be jumping in at this point, and that is because we already are in within that range, and I don't see the flip of the ribbon. So that's a little bit worrying. I still have a possible trend line in here, as you can see, this one here, and this one is also based on, there we go, where is it, there we go, predictive ranges. Why is it based on predictive ranges? Because right here I have an important purple line, and I'm trying to pass it through what I believe it's going to be impacting that purple line on price wise. So other than that, everything looking good. I mean, I'm not into a trade. I'm not going to be jumping to a trade at this point. I'm going to be just waiting to see that flip of the ribbon at support. And something interesting that I was talking about today, it is the money flow. So here's the thing. Previously, we see a big outflow of money flow, right, in a big dump. At this point, what we're seeing, I would say it's volume out, which is still not good. But the rate at the money flow, or how fast is it rushing out, is not alarming. Are we dumping? Yes, we are, right? But I think that if we can hold that position and do flip of the ribbon, and then do once again a flip up and push above previous high area zones like this, like here, well then I'll say that something around a 15 20%. Well then I think we still have the possibility for a very worth it bounce up. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So the very first thing I'm going to be looking at, if we can make that bounce at reality, is going to be this this support, this resistance up here, which is at 148 or 0.148, right? Based on the bounces, since we come back down and have those bounces, I'm looking at the 38% movement, no leverage, right? Still, I'm not going to be pretending that this is going to be my first movement like once and for all. Therefore, TP number one is going to be at 140 something, 148, 147 to take the very first 20% out. Then I'm going to be aiming a little bit lower here at a 42%, somewhere around 0.17 for TP number two. Remember, I'm going to be moving my stop to entry as soon as possible. At this point, I'm on standby. I'm on standby. I'm not looking to enter right here. I still need to wait and see what happens. Just like Alex mentioned, today it is popcorn day. I'm not going to be trading other than if I see enough volatility, maybe on the 3 minutes on Bitcoin. I do have my side cash that I'm going to be just throwing at it in case I can catch something, right? And that is just basically not much. I'm talking about $50, $100, something around those, that ballpark. It's not going to be much. I'm still just going to be doing something like 10x, 20x at most at the 5 minutes, 3 minutes time frame, just to kind of try to catch a good deal right there, right? It's going to be a flash entry, flash exit with volatility. Other than that, I'm not planning to do any major movements. Let me go back and jump into Bitcoin in here just to make sure that we are keeping track of what's happening. Yesterday, I drew this line in here, right? Let me just get this out of the way because I drew it today. I also was talking about this previous high in here acting as a support on the next movement downwards. And what do you guess? Well, we have a breakout, perfect reversal, retest, and usually that is an indicator that we're not going to be going all the way down. I could be wrong, all right? Usually this one plays out as a breakout retest. Hopefully it does still, right? This could also be breakout retest off we go and then still bounce out of that 100-ish area here that we've been struggling to break, right? 108, 106 area that we've been struggling to break, and finally convert this into a dead cat bounce and go find the 100K at this area. Still nothing for sure, right? We still need to see what's the tone of the FOMC meeting, if it's hawkish, if it's bearish. That will define whether we hold or we break. But right now, I can tell you that investors are not feeling that emotion. And that is because, look at that. We are trying to pierce, and it seems that we're making a move below the zero line. So that to me tells me that there's a high chance for us to lose this support. But let me show you something. Where are my order blocks? Oh no, that was on Cardano. I thought it was in here, but no. I thought we have an order block in here, but no, this is not in here. We still have the order blocks all the way down here, right? So basically, if we add them together, as I mentioned yesterday, two soft order blocks might convert into a high or to a loud order block in a higher time frame, right? Why? Because higher time frames matches up or bunches up candles in zones, therefore merging a soft plus a soft that will create a hard order block. Once again, aiming for a possible retracement somewhere around the 100K. I'm looking at 97, 90 something like that, just a little bit lower here. That is because of the volume, of the quantum reactor. But still, I'm going to be waiting. This is a 91% plus a 44. That's a pretty big one, right? Especially if we add them together, they balance out. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for today. So not trading this until I see what's going on, and then trying to jump in all the way down here with a flip of the ribbon, either here or here at the bottom. So that's what I got, Alex. Before I throw it back to you, let me just do a 3-minute analysis. This is going to be a little weird because we need to zoom very far off. And for that, I'm going to go to a cleaner chart. This is it. And based on this chart, I'm going to be dropping here a couple of things like my predictive ranges. So right here, we already have a structure, which is the rounded top, right? Just like we saw in the 4 hours previous cycle. round the top, big falling below, right? The first dead cat bounce going back down, and then we can still aim at some lows over here. So I'll just wait for the time of the meeting. I'm most likely I'm gonna be seeing a little bit strip of the lows or a big ranging here. Not gonna be trading this. I'm just gonna be waiting for 2 o'clock. I'm gonna see what time is that on my time zone, CST, at this point. And shoot, I think somebody crashed outside my door. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna be looking for. Just waiting at 3 minutes, looking for structure. What kind of structure? Oscillating structure and sweep of the lows. So I'm gonna be aiming very, very, very low. There we go. Those are gonna be me aiming points in here for possible entries. And I'm gonna be longing this. So basically long and try to catch the bounce, right? When this dips, I'm gonna try to catch the bounce. So that's gonna be my strategy. My designated position is gonna be between 50 and 20. Between 150. If I'm designing 50, I'm gonna be using 2 entries of 25. If I design or if I allocate 100, I'm gonna be using 4 entries of 25 bucks. So I'm gonna be operating of a 25 base entry point. So why? I think that gives me the best value for my money and best value for the risk that I'm taking. If I allocate 100, which is the main money allocation that I'm thinking, I will be doing 2 entries per trade, so 25, 25. And if that takes me out, that's it. I then move on to the next 50 at 25, 25. So that would be my strategy. If I only use 50, which I don't think so, it's just going to be 1 entry of 25. If it gets me out, it gets me out. And then do the same thing over and over and over until I either multiplicate it or give it away to a quicker trader. So yeah, that's going to be my strategy for today. Alex, what are you thinking and how did your morning went today?
Really good, man. Another day. I mean, today I had an appointment this morning. Once a month I have an appointment, so I didn't trade this morning, and FOMC as usual. So, like we said, it's a popcorn day. I think I'm gonna stream after the show. Actually, I'm gonna go stream and do a live show for FOMC and get the popcorn out, look at some altcoins, do all that good stuff, you know. But for now, looking at Bitcoin, I think, you know, these days are always, you know, when I was a new trader, I love these days, man. I wait, I press buy and sell in both directions, you know. I would
Yes.
open two trades. I degen, man. I used to have a and I'd lose money again. So do what you want, but understand that it's going to be probably best to stay out. I think a lot of us are looking at a couple of trades throughout, but when looking at this, I have a couple of ideas. So generally right now, you can see even in here, we have so much created liquidity. If we're just looking at this range, right? What do we understand here is that we've gone up only since, you know, for the last 8 days, since the 10th of December, right here. So for me to think that, you know, to be naive enough to think that we can't come back down and retest, you know, 100K as support is yeah, it's naive, right? So we just want to be sure that we have all this liquidity in here that we can easily come back for it, right? And whenever we look at any of our indicators, we can see, look, there's order blocks, there's liquidity zones, there's a lot in here, right? We have a massive amount of support though coming in just underneath the, just like OC was saying, this 99, 98 right here. This looks quite juicy if I was to look at, you know, a key area that we could potentially, if we do drop, bounce off of, right? So, you know, as we've worked our way up here, you know, you can see that really we have, you know, put in some good work coming up in here, right? Pushed up. This could be a higher low. Okay, I would say that this low and this low in here, I would say these are more of your strong lows versus this area in here. So as you can see in here, price is really gone up quite aggressively. So you have a significant low in here. And I'd say as long as you hold this low in here, right around 100,700, this can still push back up, in my opinion. Okay. So if this, then that, right? If this, then that. We always have to plan how we look to take advantage of price action. And for me right now, it's understanding that, hey, this is a retracement. Even this is giving us a channel here, right? So we got a channel here. Where's the bottom of that channel? It's just actually above this low in here, right? So if we're looking in here, we can easily just mark out this low. Oops, I missed it. We can mark out this low, hold shift, and understand that, hey, let's put an alarm here. If we lose this low, we could be coming down quite lower. However, if we hold this low, right, and we just let's say we revisit the previous highs, which I'm a big fan of. If we come in here, we revisit that and bounce, happy days, right? Happy days. So in situations like this, you wait for the dust to settle, right? The market is going to go crazy, right? It's going to do up and down. And it's typically the first move that is the actual move. I always talk about this. So whenever there's a news event, you always watch, I always watch anyways, the dollar, the Dixie. So the Dixie index, if we're going over here, will give you, and we'll look at this tomorrow and you'll see what I mean. It'll give you 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it'll give you the actual move. It'll give you the false move, and it'll give you the continuation of the actual move. Now, this is where you wait to see this move. Okay, you wait to see this move. You let everybody FOMO in. You watch them all cry to their mommies on the phone, okay? And then you get in and you take the actual move, okay? So this is, as a prepared trader, this is what I understand, is that we have the fake move, the actual move, but they rug it. So they rug the actual move before they give you the goods. You know what I mean? They don't give you the goods right away. Okay? They want to get retail to buy in, right? They want to build liquidity, then they'll send price down, and then they'll take the rest. Now this is the dollar. So what do we know about this? Is that this is going to be inverse correlated to Bitcoin. Okay? Inverse, meaning that if it's going this way and this way and this way, that we're going to dump, then pump, then dump. Corey? Sorry, my wife needs my wallet and the car keys. You see? That's love, baby. That's love.
Oh, yes.
She just came in and was like, keys and wallet. I'm like, okay. It's like, stop, it's the police. Keys and wallet. License and registration. Do you know how fast you were going?
Oh, man.
Doesn't matter how good of a trader you are. Wife always just goes keys and wallet. Especially when she has the baby in her arms. It's like, okay, you win. Take it. Please don't hurt me. So getting back to Bitcoin. Oh, funny. I actually I'm just looking to take a short scalp right or a long scalp right now. But we got the 3 moves. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Always be prepared for that. If you want to come by and trade it with me, you can. You can see what I mean. So inverse correlated. Sometimes if you just press Alt I, you can inverse your chart, so it doesn't maybe your brain is like mine. You know, it's a modem. You know, Windows 98. It still works like Duke Nukem and stuff like that, but it's not totally up to speed. Just like my internet. So you can Alt I and inverse your charts because it's inverse correlated. And it will let you know the move. It'll let you know the move, but it's watching for that first move, identifying, okay, we're going this way. Same with Bitcoin. Okay, so let's say Bitcoin goes like this, right? Bitcoin will tell you. Bitcoin won't tell you as well as the Dixie will, though. I promise you that. So the Bitcoin will do whatever, but it's always the actual move, the rug of everybody chasing price, and then the actual move continuing. Okay. So be aware of that. You can come over and hang out with me on my live. I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers. Pretty wild, OC. Pretty cool, man. But if we're looking at this thing in here, what do we have? We have literally a very nice shelf of volume. Okay, this is the thing here. We got a value area high within this range, right at those key levels that we talked about, holding this low, right? Okay, and it matches up quite nicely here. But you can see that would be the bounce level that I'm looking for. 101. Let's call it 101. 700. Okay, that would be my ideal bounce level if we come down. If we lose this level, then we're coming back down to the point of control, which is right around where OC is talking about 98. Okay, and happy days then. We'll see how that goes. But it's going to be a fun day. You get your popcorn, you hang out, and you be patient. That's what's gonna reward you. So for me, I believe, this is like normally I would take along here every single day. Look at this. We got multiple clipping in here. We got a bullish divergence in here. We got a blue dot. This to me, I would normally press buy here. Normally, but you know what I mean? So we wait. For me too, I would like to see, break a structure, maybe continuation that way. Okay, but to me, it says these lows are coming for. It also says there's a big area down in here that we have, right? And then that one area, 101,600, right? Not taking the low here, retesting the highs in here, and a key volume level. Okay, so I'll make that one pink so you guys all know that it's very important. That's always my most important level, is the pink one. Okay. So for now, we wait, right? We wait. Breakout, retest, continuation. Will we get it? If we do come up here and we do take the high in here, if we take this high here, right, then we can look for continuation. Okay. Then, right, we want to go on confirmation bias. I think a lot of the time we feel like we need to buy the bottom, and that's not true. It's not true. What we can do is use like a VWAP, a dynamic reactor. Okay. These tools for trending momentum. Okay, quantum reactor is good too, right? So you can see here we poked our head above the VWAP, only to get rejected underneath and retest the quantum reactor, and then down we went, right? So if we get above the quantum reactor today and the VWAP, and let's say we reclaim that, then we can look to ride the trend, okay? But not until then. Like, I think a lot of the time, as a new trader, we want to, I traded this yesterday from here to here, okay? Little scalp, but you identify, okay, lower low, break a structure here. I should really, after this happened, right, you should be really looking for the retest back in, which is this here, retesting, filling the fair value gaps, and then the continuation downwards, right? And that's your swing short all the way down into key levels that you have marked out from before, right? So we in these situations, in my opinion, it's about waiting and giving yourself a chance, right? That's going to be key. And then using your tools to really identify the key areas, equilibriums, your predictive ranges, your dynamic reactor, right? Look at all these things. Your trend support level coming in here, right? Like, you don't need to be a genius to understand that, hey, if we do drop down, $100,000 is right here, and 5 other things. That's confluence, right? So 5 other things pointing here. Well, guess what? I get rid of all these. I put an alarm like I just did. And I wait, right? And I wait. Now, if we start bouncing, do we have a plan, right? And that's the question. It's yes. We just talked about that. We reclaim the quantum reactor or the dynamic reactor on a shorter term time frame. So like the 5 minute, if we come back and reclaim our dynamic reactor and we get above it here, right? Then we can look for continuation up, right? And that's really how I'm treating it. That's how I'm treating it. For now, it's like, if this, then this, right? If this, then this. I'm looking for a breakout on Solana. one of the trades I'm looking for in my Discord right now. We'll see if we get it. Okay. But remember, it's the FOMC. So I'm looking here. That has bottomed. I'm sure OC will like this one. Link has bottomed. Okay. $27. Looking good as well. Okay. Link is looking really good as well. These are a couple setups in my Discord right now. Just sharing you guys some goodies. Okay. We always want to share you the goodies every now and then. You know, I got to treat you guys. It's the holidays. You know, Jesus's holiday, so we got to be nice, right? But
OM is
bottoming
also looking
structure,
great.
revisiting. You're the Lady de Guadalupe. That's what you love, right?
Yes, absolutely.
See, there we go. My mom's best friend is from Mexico.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah, yeah, and her sons are all priests, so they're always giving me all this Lady de Guadalupe stuff all the time, man.
Oh
All
man,
the
they love
time.
you. This is kind of like a
Yes.
yeah, when we love somebody, we send them like you know the mothership love and stuff like that represents. So that's pretty
Oh,
cute.
big
That
time.
actually, I felt that, brother. I
They're
felt
amazing.
it.
They're really good people. I love them. Yeah, Ethereum. Ethereum looks like shit. If I'm gonna be honest, it looks like shit. And it has looked like shit for a long time. It's not like we don't want to sugarcoat it. It doesn't look, double bottom in here. Could be having some bottoming structure. We took a really good trade here on Ethereum, a breakout continuation. That was great, but I like this exhaustion down here. I like this. But yeah, meeting. That's kind of where we're at, right? Is that, hey, let's be careful here. Let's be patient. And can we not say the word popcorn anymore? Thank you. Okay, popcorn.
Which word?
Popcorn. I think they're hungry or something.
I don't know. Any reason for that? I'm pretty confused about it. I'm really interested to know. Oh man, that really came out of like a surprise to me. Let me know. Let me know. By the way, I was also looking at Link, but I have a little bit of a different perspective here. In fact, yeah, it's kind of like a dropping below my expectations, which I mean, absolutely could be a fake out. And especially since it's not a clean breakout, right? You just mentioned it, you stop falling, so it's kind of like making a range. That usually indicates bottoming, right? So let me share my screen. Let me show you. I mean, I am looking at a possible entry, but this is what I left out on Link. First possible entry right here at the bottom of the channel, but we have dropped the channel, right? But something interesting is that we don't have big body candles. We don't have big body candles. We don't have those big body candles going through the breakout, right? For me, that implies that we could be having a fake out. But still, if Bitcoin drops, I think we're gonna have the pushback downward here. And not only because of that, I'm also looking at a dynamic reactive possible entry somewhere around 25.25. 25, love that number. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. I mean, I absolutely see that ranging here, like not dropping. Also, I want you to have your opinion. Are you looking maybe to a 4-hour possible entry? Do you see the same pattern here, or you're just looking at into the 15-minute standpoint point of view?
For me, I'm looking for it to hold the highs of the previous range. So you look left, you see the previous highs. For me, I'm looking, because Link loves a range, right? So for me, can it hold there, right? That's the thing. So if this and that, right? If it loses that support, then it's clearly going to get acceptance back into the lower part of the range. So if it holds here, great. If it doesn't, then you're definitely coming back to where you're talking about 100%.
Absolutely. And I want also to point out down here that we are having the flip of the balloon already. So this should come within within a reaction here. I'm still not going to be entering because of FOMC, but let me also appear in here because I cannot let you be the Santa Claus, the only Santa Claus of today's day. So I also looking at OM. First, guys, I want to show you and let me open up a debate with you, Alex, if you think otherwise. I want to show you what I'm not looking at, right? And this will very easily discard many things, right? For example, BNB is one of the things that is ranging also. Almost about to have maybe a flip of the ribbon. That's also what I'm looking for, because if we drop, we have a big area to do a short, right? But this is the things that I'm not looking for. Every single thing that right now I see a top, a push down, and then a dead cat bounce, I'm skipping it right away. I'm not even wasting my time on it. And that is because we're losing the dynamic reactor. And despite we could be having a arrowhead here, or a symmetrical triangle, it's not time for me to start looking at them, because I think that we could have a breakout, sweep of the lows, and then a possible correlation. I'd rather see something that doesn't have the same pattern. Once again, look at it, big push up, dip down, and yes, this is ranging, but again, it's kind of like a dead cat bounce and below the reactor, right? Both of reactors. So I'm skipping it. BAT, skipping it. BAT, once again, BAT, skipping it. GMX, skipping it. Look at that. Double top. GS, that could be a one, but I don't think so. ID, skipping it. Look at that. Link, that's one of the ones that I'm looking at, right? LTC, skipping it. OM, this is the other one that I'm looking at. And despite we have a pretty nice pumping here, we've also been reaching these highs and retracing to dynamic reactor, retracing to dynamic reactor, retracing to dynamic reactor. So let me just zoom in here, because I know I have a little bit of spaghetti. Let me clear this up. We have right now bounce off the dynamic reactor with a flip of the ribbon. So that should have been our entry, right? Either here, right, or here on this one. So is it too late to enter? I would say yes. I rather see a pullback happening here, something like this. And then I will be expecting to enter somewhere around these areas for a stop loss right below here. I know I'm pushing it for what I like to trade, and then aiming to the previous highs, not based on the wick, but based on the body here, right? And then TP number 2 will be based on this wick. So basically overall we'll be looking at somewhere around 2.52, or sorry, 1 to 2.5 in change, and then our risk reward ratio, and up to a 15% no leverage, right? Up to, right? Is it a bearish scenario? Absolutely. There is a bearish scenario in which we fall all the way down here, and then we do, which I think everything else is going to do, right? But that's why we have a stop loss. So that stop loss is going to be taken. That's fine. And as we wait for the next movement downwards here, right? Despite this could continue, it doesn't matter, whatever happens here. But what we're going to be looking at is going to be this area here. So for a flip of the ribbon, add some support. That's going to be my next possible entry right around these areas. So first one, this is it. Second one is going to be somewhere around 359, 360. And yeah, Solana also not looking bad. Not looking bad. I mean, I think that we're holding that median, right? We were talking about the median. I think we are about to hit my possible predicted trend line. So it's not there yet. We needed a little bit more room in here. And something important, it is this bullish divergence, and about to create another bullish divergence. If we can do a slight sweep of the lows to my possible trend line here. If we do that, I think we're going to have a triple bullish divergence, breaking above the zero line, and could be pushing through long position somewhere in here, all the way up here, setting my stop here, give it that little wiggle room at 1.6 risk reward ratio, aiming for a possible 10% to TP1, 17% TP2, and my Hail Mary 24% TP3, if that is the case. So let me just add my alert. I'm not going to be missing on this one. And yeah, I think I just have matched you up with the freebies. Unless you have anything else, my friend.
Not a heck of a lot. Like for me, it's a waiting game, right? So we'll see how it goes. We one thing I could go over here is that looking at something like dominance and USDT dominance. So we can look at that too. Is that when we look at this, so we can see very clearly that we are retesting right now. Okay. So for me, this is why alts are bleeding against Bitcoin. What happens in this situation when Bitcoin rip into the upside, you can see dominance is increasing here. And for me, that's just a story of, hey, we could be chopping sideways here. I think I've pointed it out to you guys a couple of times, but before we dropped in the previous range over here, we chopped sideways for almost 3 months, okay, before we had altcoin season. When you overlay anything on these charts, you can see, let's put on, even ETH. You can see here that ETH didn't really start taking off. This is the ETH chart here, right? Didn't really start taking off. Okay, this is where dominance started to drop. You had a consolidation, right? But really right here is where you saw it take off, right? It had this triangle in here and then boom, 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 okay? And the real drop came after we consolidated again on dominance. So you can see a consolidation again. This is something you need to be aware of, right? So for those holding altcoins and they're wondering, hey man, XRP went to the moon, yada, yada, yada. Well, if we're looking at where we're at right now, right? And we look at Ethereum to dominance, okay, let's go over here. We can see that ETH has actually had a bit of a move here, right? So ETH, bear market, breakout, continuation, all the way back up, right? Back to those highs. Okay, so we're back to March highs over here, hanging around 4,000 as we know on ETH because of this rollover here, right? So it started the rollover here, 1, and then 2, kind of a warning sign right in here. But now you can see ETH is consolidating. What are we looking for? Remember we said we want to see some sort of triangle like before. We want to see dominance fall off the planet, and then we see ETH go to the moon. Okay, so altcoins are going to take their sweet ass time. We know that. Bitcoin needs to peak and rotate into. So doesn't mean Bitcoin's not going to go up as dominance goes up, but it's definitely something to be aware of with your altcoins, okay? And if we do get our typical January correction, which is typical, right? Which is typical, we go over here and we look at what happened over here, right? So if we go to January, guess what happened to Bitcoin dominance in January? Well, that's when it dropped. That's when it took its first drop. Okay, that correction, if we overlay Bitcoin over here and we look at Bitcoin, we had our January correction right here. Boom, right down. 30% correction, okay? That's Bitcoin dominance dropping alongside with price. Okay, 2-for-1 deal. Okay. Now, are we up in here consolidating? I'd say we're more over here right now. Okay, you can see that we've had that second leg up. I would say this is more of a March kind of thing. So are we up in here? I would say we're more likely here than we are down here. Okay, so could we be in our last little hurrah where Bitcoin's still going up, but it's finding its top? Okay, let's say we get to 120, 130,000. Only then for altcoins to take off, and then maybe we get a lengthened cycle where we put in a second top later on, where we hit OC's 500K because he's a Super Bowl. Okay, not football, Super Bowl, bull like is a horns. Okay, so these are all things to be aware of. And we look at where we're at right now, right? So we can see that Bitcoin is still rising with dominance rising, even though we had the drop off. Ethereum doing the same thing, but we haven't rolled over here on dominance, and I expect for dominance to get to at least 40% here. So coming down within this area down in here. But the big one in our way is definitely going to be 54. Okay, 54. You can see, look at this. Resistance, support. Okay, same deal. So if we do whatever in here and then we drop, that's when we that's when we should be paying a lot of attention, right? Okay. So that's kind of my take on Bitcoin dominance. What do you have any take on dominance? Do you look at dominance much, OC?
Oh yes, I do. I like to take a look at dominance, almost exactly with what you explained, but I also looking for first dominance drop and price of Bitcoin keep going up. That for me is an early indication that we're about to flip on price action and money rotation. But other than that, I look at the same thing that you did right here. Also, the next thing that I look for is dilution. So everybody's talking about 60%, 60%, 60%. Yeah, 60% in the previous cycles, right? But how many altcoins or shitcoins there were 5 years ago and how many there are right now, right? Any new coin that has any kind of allocation, and even just to call Popcat, Tua, any coin that has allocation, that dilutes the dominance, right? So you're talking about one single coin against everything else that there's in the market. So dilution is an important thing for my perspective to start adding to the percentage of rotation on the dominance.
Yeah, because there's like a friggin' 100,000 fucking coins now. There's so many, right?
Absolutely. Oh, we got Buck in the class. What's up, Buck? Are you able to turn on your mic? How's it going, brother? And what do you got for
I'm,
the alumni?
I'm doing good, man. How are y'all doing?
Doing fantastic.
Living the dream, buddy. I forgot to wear my ninja suit for you.
Hey, you are the otter ninja, bro. It's 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 quite fucking impressive watching you trade, bro. Like no bullshit.
I appreciate that, man. Means a lot.
So I have no idea why y'all called me up on the stage. What's up?
Nothing. I just
Oh,
saw
so you
you,
just
brother.
wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
So I've been having fun with the link trade the last couple of days, but I'm really sucking at managing my stop losses. I twice I could have made more profits, but other than that, like I'm having fun, man. I'm learning from you guys.
Nice. Sometimes a trailing stop might help. But other than that, as long as you're profitable, that is the hardest thing, right? I mean, it's been said always in the project, and I think Alex will agree with me in this one. And also, I think, Buck, you also agree with this one. In any project, right? Either military, construction, planning, whatever, always you spend like 90% on details. Dude, details are what kills the project timing. And
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
That's why
stop
we hate
losses.
architects, man.
Oh man.
What I've been doing lately for my details, and this might seem kind of freaking nerdy, but I took Piper's fib levels from last year on Link that he gave away on his charts on the Piper Academy thing, and then I matched those up and made daily lines with all the support lines where we hit on the daily time frames, and then went down to smaller time frames, readjusting to make sure I hit the exact point. And then I did the same thing for daily, weekly, 4 hour chart and 1 hour chart and just color in different colors. And that's how I'm picking up my support and my resistance lines of where I want to get in and get out at.
Nice. That's
I
pretty
like
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
I'm big on support and resistance, so
Yeah, it seems to be working okay for Link, and it worked pretty good for like the last two times I jumped into the that Cockinu trade. Like I fucked up and got a little bit over my skis on it, so I had to play a couple of bounces to get my position size down low enough to where I could manage it. But I think we might have hit a bottom on it too.
On the support
I
and
can use a
resistance.
good trade as well. But we can look at that as well. So I think there's a couple things that I'm taking from you, and you're using support and resistance key levels. Managing your stop loss is one thing I picked up, and like stops have to have invalidation points, right? So like I'm wrong if it goes here, kind of deal, and I should always have that calculated. So for me, that's why I always trade like a $10,000 account, because I know that if I put on a full position, I have a 0.3% stop loss, and that will be $300. Okay, and then I know that I can make 900 from that trade. Now I know if I need more wiggle room, if I need to go maybe almost a percent or whatever, I can go half a position size, and then I have like a 0.7, right? So I can give myself more wiggle room. So I will put on, instead of risking X amount of dollars, I'll risk half of what I normally risk, and that will give me this 300, but with more wiggle room, right? So when your invalidation point's important to where you're getting into a trade, I think understanding where you're trying to put your stop loss is going to be important, and then having a set sort of like budget for when you're going into trades, right? And when you know that you're only going to lose that $300 based on your technical analysis, it makes trading very comfortable, which is good, right? Because you're just trading the plan, right? You're trading the plan. You're like, okay, we got bull divs here. We got another bull div on the short time frame. I'm looking for a continuation up. My invalidation is if we start closing below this low, I'll give myself a little bit of wiggle room. And then market structure should be what's determining your stop loss adjustments. Okay, so let's say I got long down here, which I actually did. I am long right now. And but for me, I understand that, hey, we're in a downtrend right now. Once we get out of here, then it's different. But me, I was looking for a retest of this low in here. So I've taken TP1 and I've adjusted my stop loss to entry now. And that's just my style of trading, right? Like I've guaranteed my profits. I know we're in a downtrend. I can take a scalp within here, right? Trying to manage my risk. But it's also that intention has to be determined before you enter the trade. I'm not saying, hey, man, this looks like it could go up from here. I'm going to get in full position size and I'm going to say we're going to go up here. But you know what? Oh my God, it's going against me. Oh, I'm going to add some here. I'm going to add some here. And then by the time you've added without making that plan, you're maybe up here and prices down here. Right? That's what I think a lot of traders get into a problem with, right? They think it's a good idea. And it may have been a good idea, but this should be your main idea. And then with market structure coming back up, let's say I got long here, right? Where's my clear invalidation point of when to get out? Let's say I'm targeting up to the previous highs over here, right? Which would be a fair try for a trade. Look, and it actually did come in perfectly hit. It's actually always a good target to go to previous lows. Even this one down here, you would have like really easily done that. But let's say you get in long here, you're looking for that continuation. How do I hold this trade to close it out? Let's say up in here, right? I want to close it out here. So understanding market structure, triple bottom, continuation, higher low, right? So let's say I get long here and a little swing long, right? I do not need to close this trade until we clearly break structure. Now, one of the simple ways I do this is with a trend line. Okay, so you can take this low and you can just snap this up here and you say to yourself, I do not need to close this trade until we break this. Okay, I do not need. So for me, this area here, now you may have hit your target already, which is great, you winning trade, but let's say you were targeting up here, right? So when you're entering here and you have this uptrend here, right? As soon as you see this, as soon as you break, you can look as if you were shorting it and look for the breakdown retest. Okay, so yes, you have that trend line coming in there, and this works on all time frames. And this is something Kyle from our Discord taught me because I was struggling with holding trades longer too. You can wait for this thing to break down and retest. So let's say you're pretty upset because like you got in here and now you got to get out here. It's like pretty bullshit waiting that long to only make that little bit amount of money. You can wait for the retest back in and close it out. You have to close it out as it's coming up though. That is a rule of mine. So you have to close. You're not allowed to be like, oh, it's still going to go. It's still going to go. And maybe it does go. But the time it doesn't go is the time you get wrecked, right? So
Right, and that's why I've been getting out too early because I held too long in the beginning when I first started trading, and like let it go the other way. That's why I started adjusting those stop losses with the trend, or at least thinking I'm doing it with the trend. I'm just not good at it yet.
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. So you were holding too long.
Uh-huh.
So your invalidation point should be a significant low. So these are significant lows on a shorter term time frame. As soon as you've broken that, that's your time to get out.
Roger.
Okay. That's market structure, right? So I can move my stop loss to here. I can move my stop loss to here. Nothing yet. Stop loss goes to here. We come against me. I'm out.
Gotcha.
Okay. Same on the higher term time frames, right? You could have held this trade this whole damn time, right? And you could have done it this way, right? Where you've gone long here and you've significant low. Look, and you don't have to close this thing out until here. And yeah, you missed out in a little sweep back to the upside, but breakdown retest. Look at that, right? So that's where you would have gotten out on that trade, right?
Right.
I do like for the trend line. I do like a 15-minute time frame. That's what I find to be most useful because you get into a 5-minute, it can get very like interpretational where you, let's say you got long in here somewhere, right? And then you would draw your trend line like this, right? For your first low. And you're not getting out of that till here. Okay. But if you're on a 5-minute, it might look a lot different. Let's go on over and take a look here, right? That looks similar. But sometimes it can be to the point of where you're like, oh, here we go. And then you're out, right? Where it's too steep. So 15 minutes, a good general rule of thumb for a momentum trend line. I think Kyle talks about that a lot and he's a momentum trader. He makes crazy money off momentum. So that's why you always see me. I don't trade based off the trend line. I just understand, hey, momentum's heading down right now. Until we've really snapped that momentum, there's no strength here. It's just continuation because price moves like this, which is why it's hard to hold trades longer because price moves like that. If price just went like this and then it went like this and then I went like V-shaped recoveries all day, we'd either be really wrecked or we'd be really rich, right? So, yeah, it's always important. Like even with this uptrend here yesterday, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, we broke down and then we retested, right? And that should be clear invalidation of this uptrend, suggesting we're going to come down. We get the last hurrah back in, and then we're gone, right? So, just a couple of tips and tricks to holding trades longer. Right, I'm out of that trade now, right? That little scalp, but I made a quick $150 and that's it, right? Keep going.
Yes, that's basically what I've been looking to do is make a couple $100 a day on trading, and if I can do that, then hey, I'm solid. There's no reason to go for the gusto, right?
Bro, it's a compounder's dream if you learn how to do that. I tell you, that's how I was able to go full time. I mean, you look at my last couple of days, right? And I can show this all the time. And this is excluding all the swing trades, but you can see you're just compounding, even $43. Look, I'm cheap as fuck, right? 250, 90, 80, 300, 90, 500. Like, you get your nice juicy ones every now and then, but this is my trading week, right? It's just managing risk, closing when you know you're wrong, yada yada yada, and you laugh to the bank and you deposit your whatever 2, 3, 4 grand a week, and you stack, right? You stack. I mean, for me as a Canadian, that's like a 5 grand a week. I mean, I'm crushing doctors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the whole goal. But it's about understanding when you're wrong and understanding it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to take, for me, is there a big loss in there? No, I've been pretty on fire lately. $60 loss, $40 loss, $260 loss, right? But I'll cut them. Off with your head, man. Flash close. Fuck off. Next trade. Because it's better to cancel the trade and go and readjust and re-enter. It's always better to re-enter. It's never bad to close your trade. Okay, even if you have a $300 or $100 stop loss, cut it at 50, re-enter. Okay, if you can see that you're wrong and it's going against you, why not? Right? You're like, oh, I overstepped there. Maybe I should try again. It's better
Alex,
to do
I've
that.
found that I have a harder time re-entering the trade because that's like the most stressful part for me. Like I'm trying to watch the oscillator, and once I get my second clip and my divergence or whatever, I'm trying to jump in at that point. And I'm not gonna lie, dude, that part's stressful as hell. Like I'm chasing down the 1 minute clock.
Oh man. Um yeah, entries are I don't know, maybe it's maybe it's your stop that makes it stressful for you. Maybe it's you're not if you go into the entry knowing your risk, I think it should be stress free. And knowing your plan, right? Maybe it's that plan part that you need to focus a little bit more on and be like, okay, this is my plan. Here it is. Go market. If the
Well,
market says, hey, we're going fucking the other way, buy, right? And
right.
that should be it. You trade the plan, and then the plan as price materializes, because price action's king, it'll tell you if you're wrong or not, right?
So more so like when I go to the like when I get the second the like I get a clip up and then I'm doing that two clip thing that you were talking about a while back. And so when I see
Mm-hmm.
the second one, then I jump in and start looking for my spot to enter. And it's not that I'm worried about the stop loss. It's like it's a total up ramp of like I don't know adrenaline because I'm putting money on the line. I don't know. I haven't figured out how to like calm that the hell down yet.
That might be a little bit of
That's normal, man. It's risk.
yeah, a psychology thing. It happens to me like always, like always. I'm a very sentimental trader, and putting money in there, it kind of like gives me the pumps, right? So you'll see me jumping up and down when I do take a trade live, and that is part of having the plan, as Alex mentioned. But something that helped me to figure that one out, it is lowering my leverage. Like I know I'm not gonna be making much, but I also know I'm gonna be losing even less if that goes the other way around. So that entitled me, psychologically speaking, to take more what I consider risky entries, which by having a little more experience, I then learned that it's not risky, it's catching the bottom after you have after you see the bus coming, right? Because you're seeing, all right, is your oscillator all the way down? Yeah, is there a chance to keep going downwards? Yes, it is, right? It always is. But are you having that structure? Are you measuring previous length of bearishness, right? Do you have a trend line? Do you have maybe a double bottom? Are you ranging at the point, right? So if you start seeing those signals, well, then you start trying to catch the bottom of the range with a lower leverage and the same stop loss length. Well, of course, that if you catch it lower, your stop loss is going to be shorter, right? That will
Right.
enable you
And
to,
in fact,
yeah. Yep.
I guess I just need more reps too, right? I'm a pretty new trader. Like I just got into this like not too long ago, so I'm still on the new side, man.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I think lowering
That's
leverage
good.
on re-entries especially, that might help.
Good to go. Thanks, fellas. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Vag. Really appreciate
Happy
it,
to
bro.
have you, bro.
Absolutely. Guys, we have run
I
out of
gotta go,
time today.
man. You
Absolutely.
guys are making me work
Yes.
extra late, man. It's over. OC's paying me overtime here.
Go, man. Perfect, perfect. Let's wrap it up then. Guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow. And be careful with today's meeting. See ya.
See